Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and today we have Cosmic Chris. Cosmic Chris, would you like to say hello?
Hi, everyone.
He said hi to you guys, everyone in the whole world.
Everyone.
Everyone has said hello to. Cosmic Chris, I have a question for you right away. It's a very serious question. Do you think we are all psychic?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
No questions asked.
No questions. Like what? Nothing. How'd you get there? You must have questioned something to get to that answer.
Well, I believe that we are all energy, and energy vibrates a frequency, and that frequency, when tuned into like a radio station, you can get and receive messages and information.
Yes.
And it's just like a psychic muscle to be able to build that muscle and learn to dial in to different energies and frequencies and information. So I totally believe we all are capable.
I do too. I like that answer. I like the frequencies. I'm working on a sound healing series right now. So, and I'm actually talking about using, sound waves to heal, emotional and energetic and physical traumas and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool what direction you took there. I love that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, have you always thought that way? Is this something that you kind of grew into? Are you around this kind of thinking when you were younger or anything? Or
well, I took on meditating and trying to tune in and tap into my inner self, which led into realizing that everything is a kind of a vibration. It's kind of like, if I can explain it this way, it might be easier for people to understand. If you can picture your thoughts as a radio station dial, when you think a thought and the thought emits from your brain and goes out into the universe, it's like a signal. And what that connects to is the universe, to other thoughts like that. It's likened and attracted to and from like your radio station. So when you are tuning in to the higher frequencies of the higher thoughts, of course, every thought has a vibration, like the bad thoughts and negative thoughts have a vibration, the higher thoughts have a vibration. And I believe this is why we can get elated and feel so empowered, or we can be like fearful and upset and feel really like low energy. So when we tune in to those higher frequencies and have those higher frequency thoughts, others like it are attracted to it. And so the universe is kind of like the receiver of the signal of our thoughts that we emit into the world. And I believe what you put out, the universe says, oh, hey, they're happy. They have happy thoughts. Let's give them more happy thoughts. So they bounce back and you kind of attract it. It's like tuning in to a radio station with your thoughts. So the good and the bad.
Yes. And kind of mediocre too. There is just like a middle of the road that you can attract to you too,
Totally. I understand that. Yeah, totally get that.
Yeah, so I love that. That's just I love that. Whenever I think of that, just I love music so much. I just love how music affects people, and I really have thought a lot about that. How everything is made of vibration out of energy. And to me, it's like a really good place to start to explain how we can feel our energetic field. Like you were just talking about when you're some kind of energy makes you high, elevated makes you high, for example, high energy, these high vibrations. And then makes something a bad thought being out there will bring lower energy feeling. You can actually feel that in your body too when you have those thoughts.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? And it's an energetic feeling. It's not an emotional feeling. It's not a physical feeling. It's not a thought making your body's not thinking, your brain or whatever thinks.
It's just like a natural ability that takes place within the energy field. It's like, this is another way you can tell, like if you're at a party and you're having a good grand old time, you're sitting and you're chatting with people, and then someone enters the room that may be on a lower vibration, a lower frequency, kind of negative, fearful, or anxious, you can kind of pick up on that energy and like say, oh, hey, like, is he okay? Like, what do you mean? Oh, because he seems like I feel like I'm feeling his energy. Like I feel like the energy shifted when this person came in the room, and it affected everyone in the room just by a presence of this person's energy affecting the others in the room. Right. And I believe not only for energies that are lower in vibration, like might not be as positive, but for those people that come in when one person can come in and change the energy, vibration, and frequency of an entire room just by what they're emitting, their joy, their happiness, excitement, you could feel how that affects people. Like you feel uplifted, you feel energetic, you feel like kind of like the cloud is raised. So
yeah, just you describing it makes me feel like I'm there. You kind of have a skill with like putting someone in a place. Are you a hypnotist by any chance?
No,
I'm curious. I just went, who are you, Cosmic Chris?
Yeah, right.
Where did you come from with this hypnotizing storytelling ability?
Oh my God. I just I love to share any experiences or knowledge that I may have picked up in my time learning and growing and expanding. And I'm always so happy to share that. And I guess I've always kind of been like I don't know about a storyteller, but I love to share, like talk and chat.
You are a storyteller, I think. You're really good at it. You're really
thanks.
Yeah, and there's no ums. Listeners, he was worried that there would be ums. This is his very first podcast listener, so be very gentle.
Thank you.
They'll love you. They love you. I know that. We're psychic, right? We're all psychic. We all love each other. We're all good.
That's right. So we all have to nurture one each other.
So listeners, we have kind of an interesting topic, and it's kind of how, it's going on in my life, and in making boundaries in my life has always been hard. But in the last, say, 6 years, I've been on a journey of a lot of boundary making. And I have to hold myself accountable for how I made those boundaries. And making those boundaries, I was holding a lot of people accountable for behavior that hurt me. So on both ends, I was having to hold my own accountability, trying to hold other people accountable for their actions. But they're the only ones really that need to take accountability for it. But still, I wanted to hear it, I wanted to see them do it. You know what I mean? They did at the time, some of them, and then they changed. And sometimes they wouldn't at the time, and then later they would. But I don't know what they really did with themselves. I think that's something maybe personally. I don't know. What do you think about this topic?
I totally agree. And there were so many times in my life when I was going through the learning experiences and pain points in my life and turning different corners and learning different things. But there was a time where I wasn't accountable to myself or to others, family, friends. And at the same twist, the same corner, I was holding them accountable for what they would promise me or how they were going to serve me or provide for me or to give me what I wanted. But then at the same time, I wasn't being accountable to them. So I had this standard, which was like a double-edged sword, that if you fail to do something you said you promised to do for me, like I was going to be upset with you. But then, like, I was never held accountable to someone to turn the table and tell me the same thing. Like, well, you said you were going to pick me up at 7, and now you're calling me at 7:50 and telling me you can't make it. Like, I already missed the concert because of you. Like, why couldn't you have called me earlier? Why couldn't we had a conversation earlier? Like, all these little examples of how accountability would be running circles around my life. Mm-hmm. But then at the same token, I wasn't being accountable to them. So how the hell could I ever expect someone to be accountable to me, have responsibility for me when I'm not even doing it for myself or for them?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a very good point.
So it's
how did you figure that one out? How did people even figure out they're doing that circle? I mean, or how can they identify? How did you identify you were doing it?
Well, it got to a point when I would be upset and then start pointing out examples of their unaccountability towards me is when they would have a barrage of all the things that I've never done or did that I promised that I would do for them. So then it was like, they kind of like held up the mirror for me to actually see my own actions. And that's when it was like, I'm trying, like, oh my God, like, what a hypocrite I am. I'm yelling at them, doing all this stuff, telling them they're not serving me. And meanwhile, I'm not serving them. So it's like, that was like a wake up call.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah. Interesting. That's really cool. I like the way you took that. Like you took it at first, just, how you learned to do that. I think I'm still kind of learning some things. It's easier to say sorry to someone else than to really like say it to myself, kind of, like really say to myself, man, I really screwed that one up. And and I could say that to myself all day long, but really, to say it's not a big deal, life goes on. And so usually I just let time heals all wounds happen,
Yeah. Yeah.
But at some point I've got to do the judgment card out of the tarot. I got to look at myself and go, well, how do I really feel about this action I took? Like making boundaries, for example.
Right.
Did I do it correct, like too over the top, or should I have been like less compassionate or more compassionate, or should I have, not done, like been less generous or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of like ways I should have done things. Maybe with things would have been better for me now if I had. Like for example, both my husbands, I've had two. Both my ex-husbands they were not one treated me very badly. One was just not great, but pretty bad in the end. And I never heard them really take accountability for any of their bad behavior. The second one did, but he kind of like reneged on it, he tells everyone the opposite happened now. I mean, swore on his mother's grave and stuff, and then now he's telling everybody the opposite happened of what actually happened. They all believe him in my hometown now. I have no friends from my hometown because of him.
That's horrible.
Yeah, yeah. And they all believe him, even though they saw it too.
Well, the thing about that also, Lisa, is that there's always
I have to hold myself accountable because I let them do it.
Right.
I let them, but they still took advantage of my naivety. Once I never really did figure it out until like the first one just dumped me. I was like shocked, oh, naive. I mean, I knew it was coming, I guess, but
that's like the typical cut and run. Let me do the damage, and then I'm not going to be accountable for my actions, and I'm just going to escape and just avoid all.
It was my fault. It was my fault. Any of those things happened because I was sick and I was making the first husband sick.
Oh, like physical cult?
Yeah, like, physical.
Oh, okay. Because
he just aged.
Okay, so was it more for like stressful environment or something like that? Like because I know that.
No, he said he had gained 5 pounds or something, and he had high blood pressure, but high blood pressure ran in his family.
Okay.
But he said, "You make me sick." But I mean, for really the thing that I was just like, do you love me? And he said he didn't know. And I was like, get out of here, that kind of thing. But I don't know why, but I went to see them held accountable, but I'm still not looking at that stuff too. I'm being very vulnerable to talk about this on the podcast. And I feel very comfortable, Chris. So it's really cool that you even bring this out. I've never talked about this stuff before, really. But you bring out like a side of me that can be really vulnerable without feeling self-conscious,
Oh, wow. Really that's cool. Awesome.
That's a really strong, that's a great ability you have there. But like, I don't know, we were all kids. I also think that too, but I got to hold myself accountable for why that relationship maybe didn't work too well either in some areas. Well, there was a big health issue, that wasn't there when we first started dating. So maybe he wouldn't have been so into me if that had been revealed to him to begin with, but I didn't have it,
Yeah.
So that's one thing I did kind of change a lot, and we didn't change together. We grew apart. So that's kind of the second husband. He was just always picking on me, verbally. And, and
that's more about him than it was about you. So
everything was, yeah.
Just so you know that.
Yeah, well, it was always picking on me, but it was like projections of things I wasn't doing and saying and rewording things I said and stuff like that. And then he was such a good apologizer, though. He really was. I mean, he would always apologize. He always did, in the end, take responsibility for it, but he just kept doing it. Like, even when I divorced him, swearing on the grave and stuff, that I will take this to my grave, that I ever hurt you like I have. No one else has ever heard that, and he is not taking anything to his grave. Trust me.
Sleeps well at night. There's no problems because he doesn't have.
He knew how to apologize, and even at the end, I heard that and didn't believe him. I couldn't because I haven't heard it so many times. But where's my accountability? I did at that point knew I had to go. And I still haven't really taken the accountability of like the effect it had on the stepsons. Maybe there were results. So they're 18 and 22 or something. They're older. They're still young, young adults. And I don't know what effect really, because I don't talk to them anymore. They don't talk to me.
Oh,
because they believe in him. So, this is like areas of my life where it's real touchy and very vulnerable and very strange. I don't know how to like hold children, or they're not children, but I'll hold them accountable for ignoring me altogether when they're probably under his thumb. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they all just get along, but I doubt that. I really
No,
don't know.
yeah, I don't believe that.
They all live together still from last I heard, but like I said, I haven't talked to them anymore. So
I believe that the journey of the soul will encounter all these road bumps on the map of expanding, growing, and changing and evolving. That all these characters, so to speak, these cast of characters that come into your experience in your life and in your path, they come in to kind of, I don't like to so much to say teach us a lesson. Although they help with our expansion to give us contrast.
If we choose to look at it that way, absolutely. Correct. And that is the best way to look at it, isn't it?
Yes.
What other way is there to look at, someone abusing you and you being a victim, and then you realizing it's still taking a while to really realize it and take action around it, and for other people, like in their situation, for him to, if he had grown, if he'd chosen to grow, maybe he would have gone to counseling and gotten help with his anger issues or something.
Correct. Yes. But
I am choosing to grow. I don't know how good I'm not for me. I think I'm doing pretty good, holding it together, living alone, taking care of myself, and that feels good to do. It feels good to have this time at 50, oddly enough, but it's just,
you look great, by the way.
What?
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. I do have a connective tissue. That's the health issue. It wasn't correctly diagnosed until I was in my 40s, and it's called Ehlers-Danlos, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's a connective tissue disorder. So we tend to look younger, but everything's all messed up. Like a lot of us have back issues and stomach problems and all kinds of things. So it's really weird. But most of us stay younger, looking well into our 60s or so, something like that.
You're a survivor. Yeah, you're a survivor. That's it.
So what kind of advice would you give someone, like people listening to us right now? Maybe they're in situations where they are just like having such a hard time taking an action about like towards being accountable for their own behavior in some aspect to the other person or to themselves. Like how can they get past that fear of approaching another person, especially, and saying, I am sorry, but I'm very sorry. No, but look, I did this,
what the thing is that I've realized and other experiences is that it's more about who we know ourselves to be and loving ourselves more than we do. Cherishing your soul, cherishing yourself. And it's not to say that you have to go in front of the mirror every day and say, I love you. But
naked,
if you did do that, that would be amazing. But the thing about
if you could, that would be amazing. You're right.
It's not always thinking it's about someone else. And it's like, well, like if you're in a relationship and you're with a friend or a spouse and somebody yells at you and treats you poorly or disrupts your harmony or just acts inappropriately, I mean, you're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's okay. Like he's done it so many, I learned to deal with it kind of mental attitude where you just are taking on everyone's abuse or burdens or language or communications where you don't feel like you're even worthy enough not to have to be in that environment or put up with that situation. So loving yourself more will allow you to have more respect for yourself.
That's
to say, you know what, I don't deserve to be treated this way. I am a caring and passionate person. I'm loving. I give you the shirt off my back in all times and ways. Like I don't need to be ridiculed or talked down to or belittled by someone who is my boyfriend or girlfriend or my husband or my wife. So it's taking the power back and standing on your feet and knowing your worth.
And some people have to realize that some people really do equate power and love. I don't personally, but they put them together, power and love, and that's just weird to me. Why do you think people do that? Does that have something to do with accountability at all?
Well, like you said, it's like if you can grasp onto both of those in a one-sided relationship, then there's some, like, so to speak, they wear the pants, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that is not how relationships and communication work. It's two-sided. It's two
Yes.
people involved. It's not one person dictating to the other everything that takes place and what happens. Not they're not the kind of the CEO of the
Yeah.
relationship where
Yeah.
they might feel that if it's one thing if you're in a relationship and you have weaknesses and strengths and you communicate about those things like, oh, honey, like I know you're awesome with the bills. Math is not my strong point, so you go ahead and take care of that. I'll be the one that takes care of all the auto mechanics of the cars and make sure the pool is still vacuumed. Like kind of you share in the experience. So it's kind of like these are what I'm good. These are the things I'm good at. Those are the things you're good at. We come together, we collide our energies, and then we are like a superpower. Like we're
exactly. That's how it should be. Like grow together, keep going in that direction. If someone changes course, speak where they're going. See if you want to go. At least like hop in the sidecar for a little while, see where they're going, see if you might want to go there.
Yes.
Instead of just going, why are you leaving me behind? Just a lot of people are like that,
Well,
they
that's
want the other
another
person to always be their other person, their anchor or whatever.
Correct.
I'm kind of like, I like the freedom aspect. I want more freedom in relationship than that. I've been in too many of those close codependent type relationships. I don't want them anymore. They're not fun.
No, not at all.
There can be like a kind of a dreamy aspect to some of them. They're really, the ones where I would spend every moment with them or something for when I was younger, especially. I remember that feeling, like my 20s and stuff, just being like, oh, this person, oh my gosh. And just every hour, every day, spending time with them. When you're younger, you could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where you live with them is that, but, that doesn't always last, like it just doesn't. So they usually grow differently. We all start showing things we haven't shown, and then we got to be accountable for it, or to ourselves and the person we're growing with. Sorry, I didn't tell you, but I do pick my nose and eat my boogers in public places. But you gotta do it.
That's the other major key to any type of relationship. And it could be at work, it could be with family members, friends, spouses, husbands, wives, is the one biggest key is communication. Communication is everything.
Absolutely.
And it just, like you said, to avoid those bear traps down the road of relationships, where you are able to share with your partner feelings, emotions. I know a lot of relationships where the men feel like they have to be the strong, tough ones. And I don't cry at the end of that movie because I'm a guy, and girls cry and like I'm the tough one and I hold it all together. Like that kind of thing, that ego pressing attitude is really... like you have to have emotions. You have to be able to share your emotions. If they don't come out emotionally,
I'm always treated like my emotional responses. This is a pattern in mine. I think it's a karmic spiritual pattern I'm trying to fix in every lifetime, is that people project onto me all this stuff that I feel like I have to defend myself. And if I have an emotional response, even, growing up, it was always invalidated. Like, don't have that. Don't do that.
Right.
And we don't do that. We don't act that way. And it's bad, like you don't do that. It wasn't, let's take you to the doctor and see why you're crying.
You're right. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. And that's, what, it's like family patterns. I just want to share like a really quick thing about that. I actually had in my life, when my dad came from a very Italian family. I'm Italian. They have a very strong heritage in different ways. And my dad's brother came to visit, and so loving. And I noticed that their sons, instead of just giving the handshake, goodbye, Dad, the sons actually kissed each other. The son kissed the dad like we did when we were children. We go to bed at night. Good night, Dad. Good night, Mom.
The Polish do that too. My dad's side does that too. Yeah.
And who's to say that when we get older that love has to go away, because that's just kid stuff. Yeah. Like we love them any less, right, than what we did when we were children. But the big pointer I wanted to make was that I wanted to figure something out for myself. And I said, I'm going to kiss my dad goodbye instead of just shaking his hand. So I did that one night. And he like pulled back. He didn't know what to expect because it was like, what the hell? Like I've never, all my 5 brothers, no, not one of them ever come and kiss me goodnight or say goodbye to me. It was always like, good night, Dad, shake hands. Okay. Like a business contract.
You shook it up big time. Yeah.
So I kissed him one time and I said, good night. He pulled back. He's like, oh, like I don't kiss my mom. And I said, good night. The next time I went to see them, I did it again. At the end of the end of the visit, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. He put back again. And so he started to make like an excuse. Don't kiss me because I'm sick. I don't want you to get sick. But I knew that it was BS. So the time after that,
handle the sweetness.
I did it again. And this time he kissed me back. And then I kind of broke this thing within him because he had this ego. Like, you know what the funnier part about all this was? I would be the first one to say goodbye in the family setting. Sometimes when my other brothers would be leaving at the same time, I would be the first one to say goodbye. I'd kiss my mom. I'd kiss my dad in front of my other brothers. And they look at me like, wow, what's that all about? They would go up with the traditional, like, IBM handshake, like the CEO's like, good night, Dad. They'd all give him the handshake. And my dad was like, yeah, good night, good night, good night. And I could only imagine what they were thinking when I was over there kissing my dad goodnight. Like, what the hell is he doing?
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. I've done something similar with my mom and hugging. Nobody laughed. It was not a funny story like yours, but I mean, I did. My mom and my parents weren't very affectionate, and I was affectionate as a kid. They didn't know what to do with me. And when I was older, I still was affectionate, but it was still never no hugging. My dad would always kiss. His family was affectionate. Mom's wasn't really.
Yeah, yeah.
But they weren't very affectionate with us so much. And once we got older, like you said, it was always when you're little, you get hugged on and played with. And when you're older, it's like, no. But I guess in my 30s at some point, I started hugging everybody. I just like want to hug everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Every time I left somebody, I'd hug them and tell them I love them. And I started doing it to my mom, and my dad loved it. He was like all about it. I got a kiss, Yeah. And my mom's always, the first time I did it, she was like, woo. She did actually make a little woo kind of noise like that. She stiffened up like. Didn't hug back. Oh. And she likes it now, she'll take it, but it's just funny. But I tried to do that. Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's all patterns of thinking, like limiting beliefs. Like, well, grown men don't kiss, grown men don't. But I'm your son. You're my dad. If I kiss you, what's going to happen? You going to run and melt? Like,
yeah, slip me the tongue. What?
Yeah, right.
You're not going to, Dad. You're not gonna wanna. Don't worry.
I think
realized it's not what people think thing, and it's no one's there. There's no one there who cares, right? And they're not thinking that,
And as years went on, you thought my brothers who would see me doing that would change their behaviors, and they didn't. They were all just do the formal handshake, good night, Dad, this and this and that. And I found it so interesting because I said, I need more than a handshake from my dad. Okay.
Do you kiss your brothers?
I kiss my brothers.
What do they do? They kiss you back?
They don't know how to react to it.
They still don't, right?
They don't know how to react to that because that's not what their beliefs are. They're limiting beliefs.
They let you kiss them hello and goodbye, right? They let you.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's cool. They're getting somewhere.
I give hugs too. Like I'm a hugger. I like to hug. So
yeah, I'm a hugger. I love hugs.
I mean, at the very least, so and it's like a genuine hug. It's not like those.
It's a big hug, like this. Happy to see you. Yeah, I like the big hug.
Those pats, those quick pats, like good,
what's up, man?
Yeah. So no, it's like, hey, how are you? Like a real hug.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
There is a difference, and everything is body language.
Yeah, you can read it really well too. It looks like, and you kind of like try things out on people to see how their reactions go, and show them how it can really be a happier, like goodbye. It was like that's beautiful. Everything you've demonstrated as metaphors or anything like that, they've all been so positive. I love that about you. You've got like positive, like you are a genuine positive thinker, but you're not just like flaky.
Yeah,
positive
no, you
thinker,
want
you know how bad it can be, life, I can tell, how bad it can get, but you still like look like you've somehow conquered that, or I don't know if you've conquered it, but it feels to me like you have like gotten to this place where you've really trained your mind and see all the benefits of always thinking of the best scenarios.
100%.
I can
Yeah,
see that. I wish I could be more like that all the time. You seem like you're like that, like almost all the time. If
oh,
not,
I have my moments. But for the most part, I try to reel myself back in. But what I have learned is
you're
like,
taking accountability.
correct. My wife will tell you. Yeah. So, well, like the things that we think about, good and bad, when we put our thoughts and our energy on something, it always expands. So it could be like even the bad things that take place, like if we choose to give that so much momentum, it's going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Like, just so many different things in life that we can like look at in our reality and choose to like give it so much momentum and just talk about it for hours because it feels good to vent, to be angry, and to give this thing. So like this guy on my way home, he stopped the car, he got out, he was pissed off, and I was like, just get out of my way, I'm trying to get home, and all this stuff. Like it took me 20 more minutes to get through the light, and then the cop pulled me over and gave me a ticket, and then I had to wait another hour. Like you could just go on, and this thing's like getting huge. It'll just pull you away from your joy. It'll steal your joy every time.
It will.
Every single time.
Unless they're making jokes about it. Then it's fun. Like the cop was like 8'2". He must have weighed 100 pounds. Like they make the story funny. He's doing crack. I don't know.
Yeah.
They make it a funny story. It's going to be fun. But if it's like they're miserable and angry and they're just giving it all to you and they get there, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's like, put this backpack of 150 pounds of negativity on your back now.
So just for all the rest of the night. Don't take it out. Don't do anything with it. Just carry it.
Yeah, and you're just like going like this, falling over with it.
Yeah, really.
But it is so amazing to think that, and that's the other thing too, as a manifester, like you're able to take your thoughts and you can mold them in the way that is pleasing to you. Like you and I and everyone else, in every moment of anything that takes place in front of us, we have the opportunity to have thoughts about what we see in our environment. And then at that point, we label things and we can make these experiences positive or negative. And based on what we label, based on our perceptions of how we feel about ourselves and our higher self and our higher perceptions of what's actually taking place, we can alter those experiences and make things positive, even when things might be negative. That's how they say sometimes, oh, you can always take the positive out of the negative. And it's just about, in the sense, Wayne Dyer said it best. He says, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change.
I love that.
You can be in any situation and always be able to come out on the other end with a positive thought about something.
Right.
And
That's
it's just the power of our
thinking. Way to go. It's great.
The power of thinking in like so many ways, and how we're at every means and every corner, we always have the power.
Yes, we do. That's awesome, man. Where can the listeners find out about you, Cosmic Chris, and find out more about you? You can be mysterious and just tell us a little bit, I think, right?
Go to soulsandspirits.com, and there they can find out about my coaching services. We have 3 packages for coaching services located on the website. We also have tarot cards that we can offer readings to people who are interested to have a tarot card reading. And we also have a new Wiccan deck that my wife and I created that is newly on sale on the website. So that's a lot of fun, a lot of information there. And also paranormal. We also dive into paranormal experiences there as well. I'm a paranormal investigator also. So
that's awesome.
So much. So
There
much.
is a lot going on there, and in the podcast, right? They do. Your wife does a podcast, and
yeah, and Soul Twin Stars podcast. Yeah, my wife is on there with Nick the Medium, Peaceful Nick. So that's a lot of fun.
listeners. His wife contacted me first. I think it was your wife.
Correct, Lady
Yeah,
Shadow.
like and yes, and she wrote, and then I was like, if you have anyone who wants to be on in July, that'd be great because I'm so empty in July. And listeners, I did have like 4 podcasts scheduled last week, but none of them worked out for some strange reason. It was really weird. Like one I got sick, once no, like everyone had to reschedule. I think it was you were one. We just decided to, which was fine. But because I wasn't feeling too good that day, and it worked out because I love this podcast.
Say the people that are meant to be there or on the show or on the podcast will always be there.
True, I think you're right. I like that attitude.
Yeah, that's
if they're
fantastic.
not, I'll hold them accountable.
That's right. Give them a call.
I want to thank my sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths and get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I'm an advisor on Everclear named Lisa Russick. And lastly, Cosmic Chris. Let me see. I've got some kind of advice I can ask you to give the listeners. Let's say I see like there's just listeners out there who are kind of like, how does this relate to spirituality? How does this relate to psychic? And for me, I think it really is about the self-improvement and self-love aspect of it. But it's a step in life to making me feel more like I know myself better and my values better, to hold myself accountable for things, even the good things, if you want to put it that way, hold yourself accountable for reactions, chain of reactions that might lead to something good. Not recognize that too, but really, really, and I heard that person's feelings, go through the thought process of it. How would you to tell someone to really like, start accepting that they can do it. They're capable of taking accountability. Yeah,
I believe that the biggest way, or the quickest, easiest way to try to understand it, if I can give another metaphor here.
I love it.
As if let's say this is just going to go into a little bit of a different topic, but it's still positive. Let's just say at the end of this physical experience here on planet Earth, we go back to source, or we go back to the place that all that is, where whatever it is for you and the listeners, that your higher self goes back. And then you have you watch a movie about your entire life, and you get to watch the movie in the perspective of all the people that you've had interactions with and all the experiences, good and bad. And you get to feel the feelings of those people who you had created circumstances with, or had fights with, you get to feel all those feelings of how they felt about you in those moments. And then you would realize like, hey, I was really good, and I did this and I did that. So it's kind of like, in a sense, trying to, in every moment of your life, feel like you are doing it to yourself. When you sometimes hurt other people, you're actually hurting yourself, because we're all connected. We're all one.
Yes.
Why they call it the universe is because it's uni means one verse, one song. And we're all a part of the song. And we're all connected in one way, shape, or another as brothers and sisters. Not to get into a religious idea about it.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard that universe. Yeah.
Universal. We're all connected. And when you hurt one, you hurt yourself. And you could feel it, and they feel it. And
just like one rotten apple spoils the barrel.
Correct. Correct. And I think that what we do here, if we can consciously be aware, sometimes we're not able to because we're on the wheel of life, and that wheel moves fast at times, and we don't have a chance to look to the left or look to the right and see the people who are involved in our wrecking ball, in our decisions, or in our quick ideas about things that sometimes other people get in our way and get hurt in the process of our ideas or the things that we feel or we're passionate about, until later we realize like, oh my God, like I shouldn't have been like so mean to the guy at the store, but I was pissed off because I was running late, and I yelled at him to give me my change, and he was just in doing his job. Like those moments where you kind of can take a minute to reflect and to be positive and say, I didn't have to act that way. Like that person did not deserve this. Or the anger and frustration I got on the phone call, and I hung up the phone, and then someone cut in front of me and I raced by them and gave them the middle finger. Like they didn't do anything. Like it's me. It was all about me at every time and every moment. So it's kind of like just trying to dial back sometimes and really understand what is actually happening in those moments when you're really upset.
Yeah, what are you upset about exactly?
Most times it's not about the other people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's about ourselves and the things we allow. If I allow myself to be triggered every time somebody jumps in front of me with their car in my lane when I'm in rushing, that's me creating that. That's me allowing that.
Allowing that reaction, allowing that person to get to you, and they don't even care.
Right. We could, you know what it is? It's like you end up being the offender of the easily offended.
Yes.
I am the offender. I can trigger everybody. And I can sit back and let everything bother me all day long. At every moment, I can let something piss me off. I have that power. I can allow my entire day to wait and watch for people to offend me or to make me upset or to trigger me in some way. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. But that's not the outlook we want to carry, because that's
well, it just hurts you guys. It hurts me to think that way. Yeah, I used to feel like that sometimes. Like earlier when I was younger, I was very depressed. I was a teenager and like into my 20s. But I do remember that point of view, and I remember it just being the only point of view there was, and I was damn depressed that was the only point of view. I knew that perspective was a thing. But I couldn't really and I had a therapist trying to teach me. I could have, mindfulness therapy. I could change the way I think. And I just couldn't quite brain that. I didn't understand what she was saying. Now it's a common thing that everyone knows, has heard, even from being young. Yeah, you can train your brain. But in the 90s, it wasn't something that was in the early 90s or so. It wasn't something people were really talking about. Like mindfulness therapy was a newer kind of therapy model then, as far as it was being used a lot, but it was just starting to be used a lot again. I think it was used more in it was a big blowing up in the 90s. And I just didn't understand it. My parents never taught me that I could change the way I think. So is that true? You know what I mean?
Right. Let me try this out.
Yes. So I had to kind of really understand what that meant, first of all. And I think your advice is really great advice. I love it. I think it's perfect.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I always feel like there are people that are just kind of that way. Like they don't know that it could be something different.
And it's okay. And don't guilt yourself, guys, to death or anything. No, that's not what they're talking about at all with taking accountability. Yeah, don't guilt yourself and say I should flog. I should flog myself.
Is that if you can realize, and sometimes we don't because things are just happening so fast, but if you can at some point start to think about every situation that comes before you in your experience throughout the day, could be at work, could be with family, could be with friends, you always have the choice in that moment to decide for yourself, is this going to be the moment where I choose to think differently about what I'm seeing in front of me? Am I going to just be reactive and blow up like I have in the past? Or can I think about this in a different way that's positive? Or think about this in a way that's not going to be reactive to be triggered? Am I going to allow everyone all day long to pull my strings, to trigger me, walk me around like a puppet? Because I am just reactive. I'm just like a walking explosive bomb. And I'm just waiting for someone to pull the string, say the one wrong thing, and I'm just going to go off. I'm going to be so triggered. You have the power all day, every day, all the time to decide how you want to feel about everything that takes place.
Yeah.
And if those people that have fun getting mad and PO'd, there is, in this world, there's no shortage of opportunities every single day for you to be triggered, to go off and blow up on something or someone.
But there's every opportunity to be happy too, right? Is what you're pointing out. Yeah.
That's the flip of the switch, is what I was leading to as the finale, was that it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. It doesn't.
You always have that choice to flip that switch and just turn it around, and be empowered. Your thoughts can be so empowering at all times. And you just have to remember your power. You are such powerful manifestors. Your thoughts create your reality all day long.
Yes.
So what you choose to think about up here is what the universe is going to bring more of. So if it's good things, it's going to be good things. If it's bad things, it's going to be bad things.
That is the truth. I do believe you, and I agree with you. And that's what you'll notice as well. Thank you so much, Cosmic Chris. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much.
I had such a good time. You did such a great job for your first podcast. And listeners, wasn't he great? Listeners, do you love the listeners? Do you love?
Oh my God, I do. I do.
love the listeners too. Listeners, we love you. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you.
So happy to be here, everyone. Thank you so much, and God bless everyone.
God bless. Have a great day, everybody, wherever you may be, and peace out. Bye.
Bye.